Hello, Umut here. Welcome to another video. Today I'm going to work on my napkin journal and prepare a quick and easy page for you using a napkin and an old neglected pattern paper that I had in my stash for years. I'm going to use acrylic paints and I will gesso my page because I believe this paper is soaking the paint so much, so I will have to use a lot of paint, which I don't want to. So I'm just gessoing my page, preparing it, and my paint will be so much easier to put it on. You can decide this yourself in time easily, experiencing with different papers and seeing when your paint just soaks into the paper. It means it's better for you to gesso it, and if your paper takes paint nicely and you can manipulate it easily, then you don't need it so much. So this is my napkin sent to me by my dear friend, and I'm going to just use one part of it. Napkin journals are a great way to practice color because you don't need to think about which colors to use. It's on your napkin, so you just execute, like use the colors that you see there to complete the rest of your page. So I'm going to stick this part of it on my journal. I'm using matte medium here. This whole idea came actually from the pattern paper you see on my left. I was going through my stash and just aiming to use them, and I love these mm, little papers that you see that are cutouts actually, and they have nice sentiments on them, and I love those colors, so I just wanted to use it, and I wanted to use a lot, so this idea came to me to complement it with a napkin. So in the meanwhile I just glued my napkin down. I covered it all with matte medium as well, and now it comes for using some color and coloring the rest of the page. I'm using my Paper Artsy mixed media paints. This is Cheesecake, a color that I love a lot. Um, as I am coloring it, I actually realize it's a little bit more vibrant than the napkin background. So I'm going to put some white on my table and mix it as I am going. As you see, it tones it down and becomes more pale. You can always use whatever paint you have. It doesn't matter you have this cheesecake color. You can create it by adding a lot of white to a yellow. You just need to play with your paints and see which colors you can get out of them. Eventually all colors come out of three only, red, blue and yellow. So it's very possible to create a lot of colors from few paints. I am adding a little bit more white on my page to tone down that cheesecake color and have it as close as possible to the napkin one. And then I'm going to start with the greens. I have this Granny Smith color that I found it was close to the greens that I see there. The greens here are tones of olive green type of greens that has yellow in them. So I'm just applying a little bit on my page with my fingers casually. I'm going over my napkin as well to bring everything together for the page to be more cohesive. And actually, after I said I love playing with paints with my fingers, I received a message saying they are actually toxic, it sinks through your skin. So I want to be responsible here and point it out. Um, of course, when used excessively, these paints have chemicals and they go through your skin. And I just actually ordered a cream that comes as a barrier to your skin that you can put before painting, and then your skin will be protected, and I'll show you when it arrives. Alternatively, you can always use thin gloves, latex gloves that are for actually medical purposes, but that's an option too. And I clean my hands actually right away after I paint, but better safe than sorry. So I just wanted to put it out there that there are options to protect your hands. Meanwhile, I just used a darker shade of color. It was pesto green, and I'm just now dipping my baby wipe into white and just tone it down a little bit all over the place. And it gives a cool effect. Now it's time to stick all these cutouts that has nice sentiments on them, and goes very well with the colors that I created at the background. One side will be my napkin and one side will be these lovely sentiments, which will make a really nice art journal page in my opinion. I always encourage you to use what's available in your stash and be creative about it. Even if you don't have these cutouts, let's say, you can always create these from cardstock, just cut it out at the same size and color it yourself or stamp on them, and then use little alphabet stamps or even write on them yourself. That's all very possible. I could even create this page without these cutouts anyway, using a bit of that napkin on the other side as well and then coloring it all off myself. That would make another lovely page. But yeah, I'm doing it this way this time. In the meanwhile, I glued all my cutouts, and I'm just moving a couple of them to open space for the one at the top. I'm loving the look of it. The final thing to do for me is to do a couple of splashes with the colors that I see on the page, which one is a peach color. So I pulled out one paint from my stash and I'm just watering it down, and I will do splashes with that. That color is both on the napkin and on the cutouts. And then I pulled out a burgundy as well from Paper Artsy. This burgundy actually is, I think, ran out of its time. It's a bit too gooey and liquid, but it works very well for splashes. Even if you lose the texture, the formulation of your acrylics have a lifetime like all supplies, of course. Their formulation changes a little bit when you keep them for years and years like me, but you can still use them, especially on art journals. It's for us, so it won't really matter. I'm just cleaning the ones on the sentiments, and I think I'm done. I love this page. I love these colors a lot. Lately I've been fond of green, so I'm using it in my projects, and I hope you enjoyed this little video too. If you did, don't forget to put a like, leave a comment or subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget to follow me over Instagram. I wish you all joy and health wherever you are, and please keep safe, and hope to see you next time.